Well, good. And then when it's time to come on and talk about it, we'll have you do that and everything.
Sounds
okay, good, great. All right, so let's get rolling here then. Yeah. Okay.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Addressing Gettysburg. And once again, it is time for a quarterly update with Chris Gwinn from the Gettysburg National Military Park. We're going to talk about, let's see what we're going to talk about. Hello, Chris. Welcome.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Pull that mic a little closer to you.
Sure thing.
There you go. And let's start with I'm gonna ask you this first because this is a question I always get, and maybe people just didn't listen to the last time you were on long enough to hear you answer this. So we'll get it out of the way right in the beginning. Is there any update, or first of all, do it like this: when is Little Round Top closing?
So Little Round Top will be closing spring of 2022 at the earliest.
Same answer as last time.
Same answer, yep.
Spring 2022 at the earliest. No update on that.
No other updates on Little Round Top.
So nothing has changed on that, ladies and gentlemen. Spring 2022. So there you go. There's your Little Round Top answer. Cross that off my list. Okay. How about the winter lectures? Let's talk about those. Everybody missed them last year. We weren't able to have them. This year, last time you were on, you said that so far so good. It looks like we're having them. Now that we're getting closer to the winter, what's the answer? Still having them or not?
As of today, as of right now, we are having them.
Okay.
In person.
Yep.
In the Museum and Visitor Center.
Very good.
For free.
Yeah.
Starting January 8th at 1:30.
Okay. And today's date is December 21st when we're recording this. So if this comes out after things have changed, of course.
We'll provide an update.
Yes.
We'll provide an update.
Go to the park's website to find out the latest information at any time. What is the website?
www.nps.gov/GETT.
GETT. That spells Getty. Okay. So they start January 8th.
Correct.
There's 2 a weekend.
Saturdays and Sundays, yep. 2 a weekend.
At 1:30?
Both at 1:30 in one of the theaters in the Museum and Visitor Center. The program begins early January and extends all the way through March 12th.
Through March 12th. So this is a great way to pass the winter. And I'll tell you something. It helped me 2 years ago when I went to every single one of them to record them for you, our listeners. It helped the winter fly by for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, next thing I know, I've got to go record another one of these lectures. And it was great because, then like a couple of us would go for lunch or an early dinner or whatever. And, because you get to see the same people over and over again. So if you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, don't wait for us to put them out there. Go out and or come out here to Gettysburg and check out the lectures. Give me some highlights. What have we got?
Well, first off, let me say that the lectures are free, but we ticket them. So you have to show up day of.
Right.
We open at 9 a.m. You can grab your ticket that reserves you a spot because we do fill up.
And is it limited to 100 people?
Yeah, right now we are limiting capacity and we're enforcing mask wearing. So when you go in the Museum and Visitor Center, when you go into the theater for a National Park lecture, you do have to wear a mask.
Okay.
The reason we're doing that is, I'd do about anything to get the lectures back in person.
Sure.
And so if managing capacity a little bit, giving people some room to spread out, making sure everybody's masked allows us to move ahead, we're happy to do it.
And, listen, folks out there go, I ain't going if I go to wear a mask. Listen, I'm with you. I hate wearing them. I cannot stand wearing them. But these lectures are worth wearing a mask for. That's what I would say.
I would agree.
Just, swallow your pride and go and experience one of these lectures. They're a lot of fun. Now, highlights. Give me some highlights.
Oh, wow.
Who do we got coming up?
We got a lot of good stuff.
I know. I saw some good names on that list.
So
I noticed, though, that, and I think it might be a problem with the post office, but I noticed our invitation to speak at one of these lectures has not yet arrived in the mail. Did it get lost, or did you guys forget? Maybe we'll do it next year. Or?
We're saving you for a real signature event.
Of course. The 160th.
Something big, something really big.
Okay. All right.
When the Little Round Top rehabilitation is done, we're going to invite you.
Oh, good. So 2040, I will finally get to do a winter lecture. You'll be retired. No one will remember.
I'll have died.
I don't even know if I'll be alive. How many years is that? Oh, that's like another 20 years almost. Okay. So, but
Highlights,
yeah.
Let me start off with some of the guest lectures we have coming in, which I'm very excited about. So, a couple years ago, the National Park Service established a new national park. It's called Camp Nelson National Monument.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a military base that's established there during the American Civil War. It becomes a recruitment station for USCTs, huge depot. It's an amazing story. And the superintendent of that new national park will come and talk about it. So his name is Ernie Price. He formerly worked at Appomattox. Great guy, so we're very excited to have him come.
Is that where Steve Fan moved to?
Steve Fan is over at Camp Nelson.
He's
the chief of interpretation there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're thrilled about that.
Oh, so he's you over there?
He is my counterpart at Camp Nelson. Yeah.
Oh, because he said he's always wanted to be you. Yeah. Is that what he meant? He wanted. Yeah,
you're like shoot higher than Chris Gwinn.
You're his idol. No, he always talks about you.
No,
he says your name with such reverence.
Oh,
Chris Gwinn.
That'll soon evaporate. Gets to see. Anyways,
okay, so go ahead. Who else?
We're excited about that. We have Jill Titus, Dr. Jill Titus from Gettysburg College.
Yes.
Who's going to speak on her new book, which is about the centennial of the Battle of Gettysburg in the 1960s. So we're thrilled about that.
Yeah, we had her on to talk about that while she was still writing it.
Yeah.
And then about a couple months before the book came out, or is the book out yet? I got a copy of the book, but yeah, okay. Yep. I get them for free from UNC Press. So I don't know if I was getting an advance copy or not, but whatever. So yeah, we had her on and she was talking about it as she was writing it, but now she's actually released it, so we got to have her on again.
Published, yeah.
And then you just reminded me I need to get on that so that we can release it somewhere around the time that she's doing her talk.
Yeah, that'd be
hopefully
fantastic.
That would help it.
Yeah, so we're very excited about her. We have Zachary Fry, who's formerly of the West Point faculty.
Right.
Teaches in Northern Virginia now. He wrote a book about politics in the Army of the Potomac. So he's joining us.
Republic in the ranks.
Republic in the ranks, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be joining us on January 15th.
Yeah.
And we had to delay him a year because of COVID, so I'm thrilled he's finally able to join us in park. So
yeah.
Very excited about him.
Yeah, we had him on a few weeks ago, too.
Did you really?
Yes. Yes, very nice guy.
Very nice guy. Very nice guy. And the book's a fantastic book. So if you haven't read it, it's stellar. Ty Sigel. Ty Sigel wrote Robert E. Lee and Me, A Southerner's Reckoning with the Lost Cause.
Yes.
A very popular book about how he was a brigadier general in the United States Army and grew up really revering Robert E. Lee. And the book kind of chronicles his early life with how his thoughts on the meaning of the war and Lee have changed and evolved over time. So he'll be speaking in February for the park. And then, as always, we have some familiar names. So Jared Frederick.
Not my name.
Not yet. Give it time. Jared Frederick, who's a professor at Penn State Altoona.
Yes.
He's done a tremendous amount of work, primarily around World War II. He spent the fall working with us as really kind of a virtual scholar in residence, and he did a tremendous amount of research on the Warfield Farm. So he's going to come and share his findings.
Cool. I like that.
Very cool. Matt Atkinson is...
Heard of him?
Yeah, he's apparently a well-known ranger at Gettysburg.
Yeah.
He is going to be presenting on Michael Shara, who, of course, wrote The Killer Angels.
Very interesting.
And it's, partially an examination of The Killer Angels, but more it's about the man that wrote it and what influenced him and what shaped his kind of literary career. And so that, I think, is going to be...
That's going to be cool.
I think it will be. And Matt has never read The Killer Angels. He's never read The Killer Angels until now. Yeah.
Well, I only read it for the first time in 2018. I saw the movie first, and then I started reading history books. I didn't need to read fiction. But I said, you know what? I was about to start doing this podcast, and I go, I should probably read this book since it's going to come up, I know.
Sure,
so, yeah, that works. We just had Jeff Shower on talking about his dad. There's a lot of parallels here.
You keep stealing my content is I think the
I don't
real
know, but I do it first. So, but I know you got to plan. You did it first because you had to plan it like way in advance. But yeah, no, Jeff was on, and I said, I promise I do want to talk about you, but I'd like your first time to come on being talking about your dad, because that really kind of got all of us started in all of this. So it makes sense. So he came on and talked about his dad, and it was very interesting. And are you sinking in your chair there? That's funny. You're getting lower and lower. I'll have to like go through the video and speed it up so that we can see you going down.
I don't know what I did. I hit the thing.
It's not you. It's not you. These are terrible chairs. They all do it. They all do it. I'm sorry. You just have to pump it up and then slowly go down again, or you can just leave it down. It doesn't matter.
I need to be taller than you, or I feel like the interview's not going well if I'm not looking at you.
I just noticed, like, you're just like sitting there, and you're
a
like
little kid at the.
just like getting down.
I thought you were just gonna roll with it.
You thought I was
got to a
taller?
certain point where I wonder if I'm even in the frame anymore.
Oh God, no! We put those stools on our wish list. You know, you can make wish lists on Amazon. Yeah. I put them on the wish list last year when we were building this out, and I'm like, well, if someone's going to be kind enough to get them, you know, I'll get the cheap ones. They're like $35 a piece, and now I know why they're. Now I know. Now they're priceless because this happens all the time. Or the other thing I should warn you about is that people will just lean back like this, and then it'll just flip out from underneath you. So be careful. We had Ken Rich almost lost his life on those stools there. Okay, I'm sorry. So yeah. You were going on with
Michael Shara.
Right? Matt will do Michael Shara.
We have
now. Is it fair? Because the last time, 2 years ago, I think Matt did the first lecture that year, and they had to turn people away, and then I think you added on a repeat of that at the end of the season, or that was the plan, but then lockdown I think happened. Yeah. So I guess. On a mat, especially because you're limiting it to 100 now. So on a mat day, you want to really make sure that you get there. Because,
you want to get there at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, on any of the days, because if it's 100 people, because that place holds what, 150?
Well, we usually limit it to 155.
155.
Technically, it can seat more, but we always want to leave a little bit of buffer room.
Yeah, you got to have some wiggle room there in case there's a stampede or something. You gotta, yeah. All right. So Matt, and then what else?
Troy Harmon is kicking off the series this year. He's looking at first the 11th Virginia and their experience during Pickett's Charge, so a very Gettysburg-centric program. We have Barbara Sanders, who's our education specialist. She's going to look at kind of myths and legends of the Battle of Gettysburg.
Oh, I like that one too.
John Hoptack, Ranger. He's doing a unique one. He's looking at Fantasyland.
Oh, that's
development of kind of that era of commercialism around the battlefield.
I can't wait for that one.
So that'd be, I think, pretty unique.
I have a friend of ours who's a listener, but he became a friend. He sent me. He digitized old 16 millimeter film of when he was a kid in the 70s. Fantasyland.
That's why.
Yeah. And it's like, now I've never seen Fantasyland. That was gone before my time.
Likewise.
So I don't know from memory what it looked like, but to see, I mean, it had to be interesting to see that place.
It's a strange kind of juxtaposition, right? Because you have this very serious place with its gravity and its, monumental artwork, sculpture, and then you have,
the Cinderella's
castle, and so.
But and literally, it was here at the visitor center where we are now.
We built this facility basically on top of where that stood.
Right.
And so some of the pathways through the woods, they're the
original pathways. And you could still, I understand, I don't know if this is true, but you could still see some ruins, footings of things or something out in the woods or something around here.
They're still out there.
But so imagine, ladies and gentlemen, you come here and there's where the visitor center now is. There was an amusement park,
a fairy tale themed amusement park.
Yeah, like Fantasyland and Disney World, I guess, is kind of what it.
They had a little lake and all kinds of stuff.
I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
So are we in the lake? Is this where the lake was? Somebody told me the lower ground.
I think behind where the museum and visitor center is, that real low spot was where the lake was.
Oh, the swampy area.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. Now, you mentioned Barb.
Yes.
Barb does a lot of the education programs for kids.
Correct.
And there's something for the kids too not while the lectures are going on, but
right before.
Before.
We call it Winter Reading Adventures. And I want to say it starts at 11 o'clock in the theater. And if you have young kids, young learners, it's an awesome opportunity for them to connect with the park and with the battle and with the battlefield. But more than that, it's an awesome opportunity for them to connect with history. So they've selected a whole bunch of children's books that they're going to read.
Okay.
And it's all themed and focused around the idea of trailblazing, right? So they're going to look at individuals who blaze trails, whether it be, I'm trying to think of a good example.
Jim
Martin
Bridger.
Luther King, or
Okay.
in Jim Bridger's case, literally blazed
Like literally, yeah. Oh, you mean like figuratively blazing trails like Martin
made
Luther King?
Progress,
Sure. Martin Luther King, Susan B. Anthony.
There's so many of them. And
That's all I could think of.
Barb and John Hopsack, who are educators in the park, have got this awesome lineup of stories, and they usually do activities afterwards. So if you got young kids and you're looking for something to do, winter reading adventures, 11 o'clock every Saturday.
And it's also, I would say, a good way for your kids to make like-minded friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if you're locals and you come to these things, and then there's other locals that bring their kids to these things. I mean, it's a great way because, I mean, and this is something I'm learning through addressing Gettysburg is, we do these events, people come to them, they come more than once, you start recognizing each other and friends are made, and people do things outside of addressing Gettysburg now. And they all say, I don't know any people who are as nerdy as I am. So this is great that you do this because now we get to meet other people like that. So why not start them young with that? Like introduce them to other kids who might be interested in history. And like I'm telling you, if they're whether you get it or not doesn't matter. If they're interested in history and they meet at Gettysburg and they're local and you can bring them to play at Gettysburg, eventually they're going to learn. They're going to want to learn more at Gettysburg.
Well, that's the idea, right? You spark an interest in further learning.
Spark it.
Barb and John are very good at making it both informative and fun for the people that attend.
You really do have a great team of interpretive guides here at Gettysburg.
We do. I
don't want to put any other parks down, but I mean, and I haven't been to them all, so this is very unfair for me to say, but I would say that we have the best in the United States. Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm proud of the work we do. We have a great team here. But, honestly, I look at what other parks are doing. And I think we're at a very fortunate point in history. And I'm speaking in terms of the National Park Service doing public history at Civil War battlefields.
Okay.
There are some excellent individuals out there doing really great work.
Yeah.
So I think of folks down at Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania. Of course, John Hennessy, the former chief historian, just left. But you got young people like Pete Mogul who works there, does a great job. Frank O'Reilly is amazing. At Appomattox, their chief of interpretation, Beth Parnitza, is fantastic. You look at Reconstruction National Historical Park down in Carolina. They have a guy named Chris Barr and Rich Condon who do wonderful work.
Rich Condon is great.
He's a good guy. And then even down the road at Antietam, Keith Snyder, who's basically my counterpart there. Mm-hmm. Brian Barris, some other folks. We're very fortunate. We have a wonderful cohort of public historians working at our Civil War battlefields.
No, yeah, of course. But, I mean, like I said, ours is the best. But that's just pride of home, I guess. Sure. Or whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, so January 8th is the first one.
Yes, sir.
Goes till March
12th.
March 12th. Any of the Saturdays or Sundays in that time period closed, like we're not going to do one for some other reason. There's a holiday or something like that.
We have, so the weekend before March 12th, I believe that we just have a Saturday lecture. We're saving that Sunday in the event of snow. Reschedule. Rain date.
Okay, gotcha.
Which always happens. We always cancel one.
Right.
Snow,
rain date or
snow date in our case.
Or snow date or to put the person whose invitation you forgot.
The addressing Gettysburg all day.
I don't know what we would talk about, but I appreciate being invited.
You could pontificate.
Yeah.
We could recreate this exact set.
I'll bring it in. We'll bring it in. We'll sit down and we'll just talk to the audience.
There you go.
How do you like that?
I like that.
We'll just interview the audience.
Facilitated dialogue.
Yes.
That's what we call it.
And we're going to talk about Gettysburg. The topic is going to be why Gettysburg. We've done 2 shows on that topic. Why Gettysburg? And I have listeners send in recordings of why answering that question, and it's people love it. for some, because they love to hear that other people are just as nerdy as they are, or get the same.
So, are you asking visitors why am I interested in Gettysburg, or
it's
why
the interpretation is up to you? That's why it's such a brilliant question. It's a very deep question, and I have to say I can't take credit for it. My best friend said you should do this, and why get it? And then
it's open-ended.
Great idea, totally open-ended. Because sometimes I used to ask. Every time a guest came on for the first time, that would be the first question I would ask them: why Gettysburg? And then everybody would have most people have some kind of a spiritual answer, like something, I came here for the first time and it did something to me,
Some sort of transformative alchemy that occurred. Yeah.
But then other people, I guess the more bookish types will give it there are 10 roads that lead into, they'll give a very academic answer, which is why I like the question. Yeah. So I think maybe that's what we should do for the winter lecture.
Why Gettysburg?
I'll just sit there with a table and I'll interview people in the audience, and it's audience participation.
We're gonna pencil that in for 2023.
I promise I won't curse.
We're gonna pencil that in.
It'll be family friendly. I promise. I swear. But yeah, you think about it for next year. Okay. There's a new temporary exhibit, but you don't want to tell us details. You just want to let us know that there is one.
Yeah, so we're working hard with the Gettysburg Foundation on creating a new temporary exhibit for what we call the Gilder Layerman temporary exhibit space. And
where is that? Is that in the back by the bathrooms there?
No, so if you go into the Museum and Visitor Center, right, go through the little rotunda there, you have the glass doors that lead to the main galleries.
Right.
And then there's a hallway to the right of that. And when you exit through the main galleries, you exit into that hallway.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll be right in front of you. It's a little alcove.
Okay.
It's a little alcove.
Yeah.
So we're working on developing a new exhibit for that. I think it's going to be fantastic. Then we're also working with the foundation on.
When will that be ready?
Summer of 2022.
Okay, so this is all good. Good. So make your summer plans.
And then also in the summer of 2022. We're working with the foundation on some special events around the battle anniversary, which, again, I can't really talk about. Plans are still being finalized, but what I would say is there's a lot to look forward to at Gettysburg this year.
Good. And this isn't even the 160th.
Not even.
I can't imagine what you guys have up your sleeve for that.
159, yeah.
I know. That's going to be great. I mean, sure, the 160th is going to be like a blowout, right?
Well, I mean, we always try to commemorate appropriately. These special anniversaries.
Are you doing a walk across Pickett's Charge? Is that an annual thing, or is that just that 1 year for the 150th? Remember, you had
the big
all
one.
Yeah,
that was, I think, just the one for the 150th.
You should do it every 10.
Oh, I'm going to jot that down.
Pencil that
right
in.
After the Why Gettysburg.
I could do another topic if you don't like that one. You tell me. Okay, and then there's another lecture series that you're looking to bring back for the summertime.
Yes.
You want the name of it, or do you remember what I'm talking about now? Are you not ready to talk about it?
Yep, that's the special thing that we're doing with the foundation.
So there's two things. There's the lecture, or the gallery, and then this secret thing that we're not supposed to talk about. So there's two things that are coming up this summer that are going to be new, and we'll of course let you know when it's closer to the time.
Absolutely.
Very good, Chris. That is all I wanted to know.
Great.
Is there anything you want to share?
No, I appreciate you inviting me to chat a little bit about the lecture series.
Always enjoy it. I promise next time you come on for the spring, we will have a proper stool for you.
I'm bringing my own chair next time.
Or you can
bring my own stool.
Or you can do that too. It's up to you. Whatever you
bring my own podium. Just put it here.
I'm sorry about that. And I'm sorry I coughed in your ear, ladies and gentlemen, but sometimes it just happens that way. Well, thank you all for listening, and we will talk to you next time. All right. We are done. So, I'm getting a hold of a camera. Are you guys videotaping?
We are, yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
All right, so there's really no need for me to do that.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, well, what's the point? You're going to have...
F it up.
What?
If I F it up, they'll be...
Oh, you're doing it? Well, who's doing the closed...
in-house.
Yeah, who's doing the closed captioning?
The YouTube synchronous captioning. We're just going to...
Does that work well enough now?
It's gotten good enough that we can get away with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, hell. Because I've been doing the audio for them, and people are like, I love that you're doing this, but like, why isn't it video? And it's like, because it's free, asshole. So shut up.
You drive out here in the cold.
Yeah, exactly. Do this every goddamn weekend. But So I'm getting a hold of a camera because I also record Tim Smith's at the Farnsworth house, and people are bitching about that not having video. So I'm like, fine, I'm just gonna do it. But you guys are doing it, so there's like kind of really no point for me to do it.
Yeah, so we're gonna do them live. We're gonna try to.
On Facebook?
YouTube, actually.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, we're moving to YouTube for live stuff.